Hi, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, I'm dressed in character today. That's because I was doing a trial run for Comic-Con, which is coming up this weekend, and I decided to not try and do this look the last minute because I've never used liquid latex before, which is what I've made my scars out of. So I wanted to do a trial run to make sure I'm not allergic, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm not allergic because my face is kind of bothering me right now. But I've done worse things for Comic Con. Like I put contact lenses in my eyes that were killing my eyes. I've banded my like skin together. I've done like crazy stuff for Comic Con. So this is not really new for me. So I wanted to be the Joker for a long time. Doing Comic Con, and there's always another character that sort of came up, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do that one. So I was really looking forward to being the Joker for a while now, and before this movie that just came out, which was released on October 4th, starring Joaquin Phoenix, and Robert De Niro's in it as well. And I just saw the movie, so I thought I would use the opportunity while I'm in the full face Joker mode to review the movie. So this is the Heath Ledger look from The Dark Knight, who was one of my favorite all-time performances of the Joker. And then I saw this movie. So what I'm going to say is that two different portrayals of the character, two very different but two very poignant character portrayals that I'm still thinking about this movie. So this movie has hit me really, really hard, as it has to many other people. And I'm still it's a movie that really, really makes you think. It's a disturbing movie. There are a lot of disturbing, violent scenes in the movie. But most of all, the movie is about mental illness. It's about a character that has a mental illness. I don't want to give away too much because I don't want to ruin the movie for anyone who's seen it. I'm going to try as be as general as possible, but there may be like one or two spoilers. I apologize. I'm going to try and not give away any big plot twists. But the character has a mental illness. The character is seeking out help for the mental illness. The character expresses that they need help, that medications they're taking are not maybe working. This character is teased, this character is bullied, this character is made fun of, and basically pushed to the brink. The character has a history of abuse and pushed to the brink of becoming this really hateful, violent person. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit to The Dark Knight, to the Heath Ledger performance. Heath Ledger portrayed a psycho, like demented villain. He really did. He had that demented laugh. He had just he just was so mean and bitter, and but in that movie, The Dark Knight, his main nemesis was Batman. Like he wanted Batman, and that's like part of the comics, is that he just wants Batman because Batman represents everything that's good, and the Joker is his arch, enemy. So, and going back to the comics, like even as a kid, I knew the Joker was a bad person. I remember being little and watching the show The Joker, and think like the show Batman, and the Joker scared me. I remember thinking he's not a nice person. He's scary. He's evil. He's mean, and that's what Heath Ledger portrayed to me. And I thought he portrayed the Joker beautifully. Like the Joker is psychotic. The Joker is not a nice person. So going back to the recent movie, The Joker, portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix, I found it really interesting, and a really big twist is that this time I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for him. It was really uncomfortable to watch because a lot of people say that. I've seen lots of reviews on the Joker, and everyone's like, oh, it was so uncomfortable to watch. Of course it's uncomfortable to watch. It's mental illness. We're uncomfortable with mental illness. And parts of the movie that really resonated, that I thought, is that people do go to seek help and they are often denied, or people push them aside and think that, maybe they're exaggerating, or maybe they don't have value in how they feel. And he was just seen as different to other people. and treated really badly, beat up, bullied. I mean, this happens in our school system all the time, and it happens as adults all the time. I'm appalled at how many adults bully other adults. Like, look, go online any day of the week and you'll see it. You'll see it in forums where people don't know each other. People are complete a-holes to each other, right? And kids can be too. So we're all susceptible to bullying. Doesn't matter what age or what demographic you are. But what I thought was so amazing about the performance by Joaquin Phoenix is that not only, like, I totally believed that it wasn't even Joaquin Phoenix, it was the Joker. And I think the fact that I felt pity for him, and he is not doing good things in this movie, was a real kind of awakening, sort of eye-opening for me, because I've never, ever, ever felt pity for anybody who's gone and done anything that he does in this movie. So I think I attribute that to his performance, and when you see all what's happening behind the scenes and why he reacts the way he reacts. So I want to say this right now. I mean, I do not stipulate any of this behavior. I would never condone any of this behavior. And I do think the thing with mental illness is that we don't talk about it enough. We're talking about it more. But I think that specifically in this film, it shows what can happen to somebody who goes completely over the edge that has mental illness. But I want to say, this is what I've always felt about mental illness. And I feel this way about everything in life. And this is why I have a real penchant for comics and the comic book world. And what I think, honestly, it's not about your color. It's not about your job. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about your religion. Like, to me, it's always been, the world is sort of black and white to me, in the sense that you're either a good person or you're an evil person. And yeah, there's in between. Like, we all, nobody's perfect. We all have skeletons in our closet. We all have, things maybe we're not proud of, or mistakes that we've made. This is normal. We are human beings, right? But I think you can have a mental illness, and you could be a good person with a mental illness. And I think you can be an evil person with a mental illness. And my perspective on the Joker, up until seeing this film, was that he's an evil person that's not all there, right? Like, and when you hear these stories, like, I remember that guy in North York, Ontario, that ran up the van, up the sidewalk, and killed all those people. And in the news, they were like, oh, he has a mental illness. And I was like, you think? You think? And the thing is that when they blanket this term mental illness, and they portray mental illness always as a, like, vicious, violent, evil thing, it's not always. And you know why? Because not everybody is an evil person. And the Joker is an evil person. He always has been in the comics. So I've always thought, like, to be able to do something like that, and not that it's like an ability or anything, but I mean, if you can go and just hurt people and be violent to people for, like, I don't know, it's just, I don't think that you are a good person, mental illness or not. Like, if you are evil, and if you are and you can, like, as though the movie depicted, like, maybe if the Joker in the movie was raised in a loving home, maybe if the Joker had friends, maybe if the Joker had somebody that would support him, or somebody that loved him, or somebody that talked to him and really listened to what he was saying and appreciated him, and maybe if he had confidence, and blah, 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 and the list can go on and on and on. But if he did, he wouldn't be the Joker, right? Like, he wouldn't. He would be Superman, maybe, or Batman, maybe. It's a different, and Batman has a dark little bit side to his story as well. But I mean, Batman didn't turn out the same way as the Joker did. So I guess what I'm trying to say in my ramblings, while my liquid latex is just really stiffening on my face and making it harder and harder to talk, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I do think mental illness should be at the forefront. I do think there's a lot of things happening to bring us attention to this. And my heart honestly goes out to anybody suffering from mental illness and depression. It is real. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying that, there are so many people suffering from depression and anxiety and all along the spectrum. There's so many different diagnoses all along the spectrum. What I am saying is that every day we have a choice. Every situation we're in, we have a choice to be a good person or to be an evil person. So I think that's basically the gist of what I'm saying. And for the longest time, I thought, oh, this world is crazy. Like, there's so many bad people in the world. And honestly, I think there is a lot of good people in the world. And I don't think there is as many of the evil people in the world. And the one thing I'll say about this movie, it made me feel bad for thinking he was evil. It really did. So that says a lot about the film. That says a lot about the acting and the direction that they've given this movie. It's a very sad movie. It's very disturbing. It's very different from any other portrayals of the Joker that I've seen. And for that, I have to say, I really think Joaquin Phoenix is going to win an Oscar for this role. I hope he does, because he earned every second of it. And let you watch it and see what you think, and let me know in the comments what you think. And I hope you enjoyed this review of the Joker movie. And I'm gonna go now and get this crap off my face. So be well. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.